Relief washed over the faces of the disciples gathered in the grand hall. Gone were the expressions of worry and self-doubt that had plagued them moments ago.
It seems the heavens have finally smiled upon us. A 6-star talent.
The unfortunate incident with the Azure Dragon's blood essence is a mere trifle in comparison.
Congratulations, Zayn. Your awakening of a new talent is a cause for celebration.
Now, Zayn, with such potential, perhaps a change of scenery would be beneficial. After all, wouldn't you thrive under a more experienced teacher?
He shoots a sly glance towards Huang Shuling.
I propose you become my disciple, Zayn. I can personally guide you on your path to greatness.
Huang Shuling's face hardened. He wasn't about to let such a talented disciple slip through his fingers.
Master Ru, do you think me a fool? A gem like Zayn deserves the best instruction, and that's precisely what he'll receive under my tutelage. From this day forward, Zayn, you are my personal disciple. You'll receive all the benefits and resources befitting such a position. Trust me, they far exceed anything a mere elder could offer.
Zayn's heart swelled with pride. A personal disciple. This was an opportunity beyond his wildest dreams. He couldn't help but glance at Huang Sukyu, a silent vow forming in his heart.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you, elders. I won't disappoint you.
However, our celebration must be short-lived. The recent discovery of a Devil Flame sect spy within our academy raises a troubling concern. There could be others lurking in the shadows across all 5 Spirit sect academies.
A hush fell over the room.
In light of this, we, the 4 deans, have made a crucial decision. The sect competition will be moved forward by 2 months. Prepare yourselves. The future of the Azure Dragon Academy rests on your shoulders.
Zayn's stomach churned. The sect competition was a prestigious event, a display of strength and skill amongst the academies of the 5 Spirit sect. The winner received immense rewards and prestige, while the loser, well, let's just say the Azure Dragon Academy hadn't fared well in recent years. They consistently ranked last, a fact that gnawed at Zayn's newfound sense of pride.
Back in Sun County, Mr. Ye mentioned bringing Luo Dongke to the Azure Dragon Academy. But I saw him at the competition, wearing the White Wolf Academy uniform. What happened?
Luo Donghe was supposed to join us, Zayn. However, the Dean of the White Wolf Academy happened to be here that day. Seeing Luo Donghe's talent, he made him a very generous offer.
That arrogant fool. How could he betray us like that?
Luo Donghe was easily swayed by their promises. Your father, he's been furious ever since. He urges us all to train harder, to redeem ourselves at the sect competition.
I understand. And don't worry, Sukyu. I'll do everything in my power to make our academy proud.
A blush crept up Sukyu's cheeks, and Zayn couldn't help but grin. The news of his promotion seemed to have solidified their bond. Sound temple bells chime again as the disciples disperse. Zayn heads towards the Hall of Elixirs.
Time to start training.
Zayn, is that really you? A personal disciple? That's incredible. I always knew you had potential, but this is amazing.
Thanks, Shuji. It's still sinking in for me, but listen, I need your help. I'm in the Foundation realm now, and those measly outer disciple pills won't cut it anymore.
He's right. Inner disciples receive better resources, and personal disciples get the best of the best. But even then, finding truly powerful pills isn't easy.
I need something stronger. Something to keep up my current cultivation speed.
There might be something, but it's not for the faint of heart.
Whoa. That thing packs a punch. What is it?
This, Zayn, is a 3 souls pill. It's incredibly potent. 1 pill is equivalent to 3 spirit cultivation pills, perfect for rapid cultivation.
3 times the effect? That's exactly what I need.
However, there's a catch. The ingredients include something called 5-colored deer marrow, which can leave your body vulnerable to negative chi buildup if you take too much.
Don't worry about that. My lightning wind chi can handle a little demonic influence. But tell me more about this 5-colored deer marrow.
It's not a medicinal herb exactly. It's the bone marrow of a 5-colored deer that's absorbed the creature's spirit after death. It becomes infused with a potent dark energy.
Interesting. And where can I find this 5-colored deer marrow? The Hall of Elixirs doesn't seem to have much stock of these pills.
The demand for 3 souls pills is quite low. However, there's a place called Trade Street within the 5 Spirits sect. You might find some rare ingredients there.
Trade Street, huh? Sounds like a gamble, but I'm willing to take it. Thanks, Lou. Yeah, this is a huge help.
Zayn's newfound confidence soared. He had a powerful pill to fuel his cultivation and a new destination. Trade Street. What wonders awaited him there?
Whoa. This place is a maze. How am I supposed to find 5-colored deer marrow in all this chaos? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let me help you with those.
A gruff voice responds.
Watch where you're going, young fella. These scrolls are delicate.
I apologize again, sir. I'm new here, and I'm actually looking for something specific. You wouldn't happen to know where I could find 5-colored deer marrow, would you?
5-colored deer marrow? That's a rare commodity, not something you see every day. Why are you interested in such a thing?
I'm cultivating, and I need a powerful pill. The 3 Souls pill requires the marrow for its potent effects.
Ah, the 3 Souls pill. A potent elixir, but a risky one. You wouldn't be the first young buck who's gotten a little too ambitious with those things.
I understand the risks, sir. But I have a way to manage the negative chi. Don't worry, I'm not reckless.
The merchant lets out a hearty laugh, the sound echoing through the crowded marketplace.
Reckless, huh? Maybe not. But determined, that's for sure. I like your spirit, kid. 5-colored deer marrow isn't exactly something I keep in stock, but I might know a guy.
Really? That would be amazing. Where can I find him?
He runs a small stall on the other side of the market near the herbalist's tents. Look for a fellow with a crooked nose and a parrot that keeps squawking about shiny things. You can't miss him.
Thank you so much. You've been a lifesaver.
With renewed hope, Zayn weaves through the throngs of people, following the merchant's directions. The air vibrates with a cacophony of sounds, and the vibrant displays of merchandise assault his senses.
Whoa, a double-edged frostblade. And those spirit stone? Incredible.
Shiny things!
Excuse me, sir?
The man looks up, his eyes crinkling at the corners.
Can I interest you in some rare herbs, young man? Perhaps some exotic elixirs to enhance your cultivation?
Actually, I'm on a bit of a specific quest. I'm looking for 5-colored deer marrow.
The man's smile falters for a brief moment, then returns with a hint of amusement.
5-colored deer marrow, eh? Now that's a rare find indeed. Not something you stumble upon every day.
I understand, but I'm willing to pay a fair price.
It's not just about the price, young fella. This kind of ingredient attracts attention. Not everyone who seeks such things has good intentions.
I assure you, my intentions are pure. I need it for a powerful cultivation pill.
The merchant studies Zayn for a long moment, a silent conversation passing between them. Finally, a sly grin spreads across his face.
All right, young seeker, you've got the fire in your eyes. I might just have what you're looking for, but it won't come cheap. And there might be a little test involved.
A test? What kind of test?
A thrill of anticipation coursed through Zayn. This wasn't just a simple purchase. It was an adventure waiting to unfold. What kind of test awaited him? And would he be able to secure the rare ingredient he so desperately needed?
Test, shiny reward.
A test? What kind of test? I'm willing to do whatever it takes to acquire the 5-colored deer marrow.
The merchant leans back in his chair, the parrot hopping from one leg to the other on his shoulder.
Patience, young one. Not everything valuable is acquired through brute force. This test requires wit. Tell me, can you decipher this?
He pushes a worn scroll across the counter. Zayn unrolls it, revealing a cryptic symbol etched in the center, surrounded by swirling calligraphy.
This is unfamiliar. I haven't seen anything like it before.
Indeed. It's an ancient riddle passed down for generations among those who deal in rare ingredients. Solve it, and the 5-colored deer marrow is yours. Fail, and well, let's just say your search ends here.
Zayn stares at the riddle, his mind racing. The pressure was on. Not only was the desired ingredient at stake, but his reputation as a determined cultivator.
Give me a moment. I'll figure it out.
He spends the next few minutes deciphering the inscription. The swirling calligraphy hints at forgotten languages, and the central symbol seems to possess an otherworldly energy.
There has to be a pattern. A hidden meaning.
He traces the symbol with his finger, a faint tingling sensation traveling up his arm. Suddenly, a memory flashes. A forgotten passage from a book he read in the Azure Dragon Academy library.
Wait a minute. I remember now.
He begins piecing together fragments of knowledge, the ancient languages aligning with the symbol. A slow smile spreads across his face.
I think I have it. The riddle speaks of a creature with wings of fire and a heart of ice. A phoenix.
The merchant raises an eyebrow, a flicker of surprise in his eyes.
Interesting. And what significance does the phoenix hold?
The phoenix is a symbol of both destruction and rebirth. It signifies the ability to overcome challenges and rise from the ashes stronger.
The merchant nods slowly, a satisfied smirk playing on his lips.
Well done, young one. You've cracked the code. You possess not just strength, but also a sharp mind.
He reaches under the counter and retrieves a small, ornate box. Inside, nestled on a bed of velvet, lies a single vial containing a shimmering dark liquid.
This, my friend, is the 5-colored deer marrow. Use it wisely. Remember, power comes with a price.
Zayn carefully takes the vial, a surge of gratitude washing over him.
Thank you so much. I won't disappoint you.
The merchant winks, the parrot squawking its approval.
I have a feeling you won't. Now scram before someone notices what you just acquired. This kind of business attracts unwanted attention.
Zayn pockets the vial and exits the stall, his heart pounding with excitement. He had not only secured the rare ingredient, but also proven his mettle. With the 5-colored deer marrow in hand, Zayn's path to rapid cultivation seemed clear. However, the test at the stall served as a stark reminder. The world of cultivation was not just about raw power. It also demanded resourcefulness, wit, and the ability to navigate hidden dangers. As Zayn hurried back to the Azure Dragon Academy, he knew his journey had just begun. Zayn, with the vial of 5-colored deer marrow safely tucked away in his robes, hurried away from the stall. The cacophony of the marketplace faded slightly as he navigated the throngs of people, a sense of accomplishment warring with a healthy dose of caution in his chest.
The merchant wasn't wrong. The 3 Souls pill is powerful, but risky. I need to be careful.
He reached into his robes and retrieved the vial once more, the cool glass a stark contrast to the warmth radiating from the liquid within. It pulsated faintly, a reminder of the potent energy it held.
I'll consult with Master before using it. He'll know how to guide me through the process of managing the negative chi.
A sense of relief washed over him. He wasn't alone in this journey. Just then, a commotion erupted from a nearby alleyway, shattering the peaceful hum of the market. Shouts and the clang of metal on metal echoed through the air. Zayn hesitated, his curiosity battling with his desire to return to the academy. Zayn's instincts screamed for him to investigate. He approached the alley cautiously. The sounds of struggle grew louder with each step. He peeked around the corner, his eyes widening in surprise. 2 figures were locked in a fierce duel, a young woman with fiery red hair and a wiry man clad in dark leather armor. Zayn recognized the woman. It was Zhao Wen, the disciple he helped earlier.
Leave me alone. I won't let you take what isn't yours.
Foolish girl. This belongs to the Shadow Crows now.
Zayn's blood ran cold. The robed figures from before, the Shadow Crows. They were targeting Zhao Wen, and she was clearly outmatched.
Leave her alone.
He burst into the alley, drawing his dragon blood sword. The leather-clad man whirled around, a surprised snarl twisting his features.
Another one? This changes nothing. You both will fall.
The clash of steel cut through the air as Zayn engaged the attacker. He fought with a renewed ferocity, fueled by a desire to protect his newfound ally. The surprise attack threw the leather-clad man off balance. Zayn, emboldened by his recent success, landed a glancing blow on his opponent's shoulder.
You will pay for that.
The man lunged at Zayn with renewed vigor. The fight became a whirlwind of movement, the metallic clang of blades echoing through the narrow alley. Zhao Wen, seizing the opportunity, disarms her attacker with a swift kick. She snatches a pouch from his belt and throws it to Zayn.
Here, take this. It contains proof of their crimes.
Zayn caught the pouch mid-air, his eyes flitting between her and the leather-clad man, who was now scrambling to his feet.
You won't get away with this. The crows will find you.
He threw a smoke bomb at his feet, creating a thick cloud that engulfed the alley. The leather-clad man disappeared into the smoke, his chilling laughter echoing faintly before fading away. Zayn and Zhao Wen coughed and sputtered, their vision obscured by the swirling cloud.
Ugh!
Where did he go?
He's gone, for now. Thank you for saving me again, Zayn. You're a true friend.
Just returning the favor. We need to get out of here before they regroup.
Together they navigated out of the smoke-filled alley and back into the bustling marketplace. The encounter had left them shaken, but also strangely connected.
This isn't over, Zayn. The Shadow Crows will stop at nothing to get that pouch back. You need to be careful.
I understand, but I won't back down from a fight, especially when it comes to protecting what's right.
Suddenly, a figure shrouded in a dark cloak emerged from the crowd, their features obscured by a deep hood. They stopped in front of Zayn and Zhao Wen, their presence radiating an unsettling chill.
You have interfered with the Shadow Crows for the last time.
Zayn instinctively gripped his dragon blood sword tighter, his heart pounding against his ribs. Zhao Wen stepped closer to him, her hand hovering near a hidden dagger at her waist.
Who are you? Show yourself!
The cloaked figure let out a low chuckle, the sound devoid of humor.
You don't need to know my name, but know this. The crows do not forget. You will pay for your meddling.
The figure raised a hand, and a faint dark energy crackled around their fingertips. A sense of dread washed over Zayn, a primal fear urging him to flee. Zayn's mind raced. He was no match for this ominous figure, yet backing down felt impossible. Zhao Wen, despite her bravery, seemed equally overwhelmed. Just as the cloaked figure prepared to unleash their dark energy, a booming voice cut through the tension-filled silence.
Stand down!
A wave of relief washed over Zayn as he saw Master Huang Shuling striding towards them, her robes billowing behind her. The cloaked figure hesitated, their hand dropping slightly.
Master Huang, this doesn't concern you.
It most certainly does when my student is involved. Now, leave, before I make you.
The cloaked figure stared at him for a tense moment, then turned and melted back into the throng of people, vanishing like a phantom.
Master, thank goodness you're here.
Master Huang reached them and placed a hand on Zayn's shoulder. His touch calmed the tremor that had begun in his hand.
Are you all right, Zayn? What happened here?
Zayn and Zhao Wen exchanged a look. Then Zayn recounted the encounter with the Shadow Crows and the cloaked figure. Master Huang listened intently, his expression growing grim with each detail.
The Shadow Crows are a dangerous group. They operate in the shadows, dealing in stolen goods and worse. Interfering with them was unwise.
But they were attacking me. We had to do something.
Master Huang sighed, his gaze softened slightly.
I understand your bravery, but sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. This isn't over, Zayn. You've made a powerful enemy.
I won't back down, Master. I won't let them intimidate me.
Master Huang nods, a flicker of respect in his eyes.
Good. But be prepared. The crows won't hesitate to strike again. Now, come, we have much to discuss. The pouch you retrieved, it may hold the key to dismantling their entire operation.
With a heavy heart but a steely resolve, Zayn followed Master Huang and Zhao Wen away from the marketplace. The bustling sounds faded as they walked, replaced by the weight of their newfound knowledge and the looming threat of the Shadow Crows. Zayn may have acquired the five-colored deer marrow, but his journey had taken a sharp turn, one that led him deeper into the shadows of the cultivation world. The rhythmic clatter of footsteps faded as Zayn followed Master Huang and Zhao Wen away from the marketplace. The weight of their encounter with the Shadow Crows hung heavy in the air.
So, what now, Master? We just wait for them to attack again?
Not necessarily. We have the pouch they were so desperate to retrieve. Perhaps it holds a clue, a weakness we can exploit.
They arrived at Master Huang's secluded pavilion, a place of quiet contemplation amidst the bustling academy grounds. Inside, Master Huang carefully examined the pouch, his brow furrowed in concentration. He untied the drawstring, revealing a collection of folded parchment and a small, intricately carved jade pendant.
What is it, Master Huang?
Master Huang unfolded one of the parchments, his eyes widened in surprise.
This is a coded message, an internal communication within the Shadow Crows.
He spent the next few hours deciphering the cryptic symbols, her brow furrowed in concentration. Zayn and Zhao Wen exchanged a worried glance, the silence broken only by the rhythmic scratching of Master Huang's brush on parchment. Finally, Master Huang slammed the decoded message down on the table.
This is troubling. The message details a planned attack on a caravan carrying a shipment of rare artifacts for the Emperor himself. The Crows plan to ambush them near the Whispering Canyon, a treacherous passage notorious for its unpredictable winds and hidden dangers.
An attack on an Imperial caravan? That's a declaration of war.
They're getting bolder. But why attack now?
Master Huang picked up the jade pendant, tracing the intricate carvings with his finger.
This pendant, it seems to be a key to something they intend to steal during the attack. Something powerful enough to justify such a brazen move.
We can't let them succeed. We have to warn the caravan and stop the attack.
Master Huang looked at Zayn, a hint of admiration in his eyes.
That's the spirit, Zayn. But there's more. The message mentions a Marked One participating in the attack. Someone with unusual skills and power.
A cold dread washed over Zayn. He remembered the cloaked figure who confronted them earlier, the one who seemed unfazed by even Master Huang's presence.
Do you think?
Master Huang nodded grimly, his gaze locking with his.
There's a strong possibility. It seems you've made quite the enemy, Zayn.
A tense silence hung in the air, broken only by the rasping of the wind outside. Zayn grappled with the weight of this revelation. He had stumbled upon a dangerous conspiracy, and now he was thrust into the center of it.
We're in this together, Zayn. Whatever you decide, we'll face it head on.
Zayn met her gaze, a newfound determination hardening his features.
We can't ignore this, Master. We have to warn the caravan and protect the artifacts, but how? We can't possibly reach them before the Crows do.
Master Huang leaned back in his chair, a sly smile played on his lips.
Leave that to me, Zayn. I have a proposition for you. A way to infiltrate the Crows' ranks and disrupt their plans from within. It will be dangerous, but it might just be our best chance.
Zayn's heart pounded with a mixture of fear and excitement. Master Huang leaned forward, his voice dropped to a conspiratorial whisper. The air crackled with anticipation as he unveiled his plan, a daring gambit that could turn the tide against the Shadow Crows. A crackling fire filled the small pavilion with warmth, casting flickering shadows on the walls. Master Huang sits opposite Zayn and Zhao Wen, his face illuminated by the dancing flames.
The plan is risky, Zayn, but it's the only way to get close enough to disrupt the attack. You'll infiltrate the Shadow Crows.
Zayn's stomach churned. Going undercover amongst a dangerous criminal organization was not what he had envisioned when he began his quest for the Three Souls pill.
Infiltrate them? How?
Leave that to me. I have an old acquaintance, shall we say. A disgruntled former crow who owes me a favor. He can vouch for your skills.
A disgruntled crow? Sounds like a gamble. What if he exposes you?
There's always a risk, but he has a reason to cooperate. He wants revenge on the Crow's leader, a ruthless man known only as the Raven.
Zayn contemplated the plan. The weight of the decision pressed down on him. He glanced at Xiao Wen, seeking her silent support.
You can do this, Zayn. We'll be here, waiting for your signal.
Master Huang pulled out a worn leather satchel and pushed it towards Zayn.
This contains a crow uniform, forged identification papers, and a few persuasive tools. You'll need them to gain their trust.
Zayn cautiously opened the satchel. His fingers brushed against the rough fabric of the uniform and the cold metal of throwing knives.
All right, Master. I'll do it. But what about the marked one? The powerful fighter they mentioned.
A flicker of concern crossed Master Huang's face.
That's the biggest unknown. We can only speculate. But be prepared, Zayn. You might be facing someone far stronger than anything you've encountered before.
The fire crackled, casting long shadows that seemed to writhe on the walls. The weight of the mission hung heavy in the air. Zayn steeled his nerves, the thrill of danger laced with a healthy dose of fear.
Then let's get started. How do I become a crow?
Master Huang leaned forward, a glint in his eyes.
First lesson, Zayn. Crows don't fly straight. They thrive in the shadows, using deception and ruthlessness to achieve their goals. You'll need to learn their language, their ways. To become the crow, you must think like the crow.
The flickering firelight reflected in Zayn's determined eyes. He was no longer just a young cultivator seeking power. He was a pawn in a dangerous game, thrust into the heart of a criminal conspiracy. The journey to acquire the five-colored deer marrow had taken an unexpected turn, leading him down a path fraught with danger and deceit. Yet with Master Huang's guidance and Xiao Wen's unwavering support, Zayn was determined to succeed. He would infiltrate the Shadow Crows, disrupt their plans, and protect the Imperial caravan. But within the darkness, a powerful enemy awaits, a shadowy figure known only as the Raven. The battle for the Whispering Canyon has yet to begin, but the whispers in the dark promised a fight unlike any Zayn had ever faced. The auction house buzzed with anticipation as bidders eagerly awaited the next item. The air was thick with excitement, a palpable energy that made the room hum. Conversations in hushed tones filled the space, as eyes darted from the stage to the catalogs in hand, each bidder hoping their desired artifact would be the next up for auction. Suddenly, a voice pierced through the noise, sharp and clear.
250!
The crowd turned towards the voice, a ripple of surprise and intrigue spreading among the attendees. The bid was swift, almost too eager, but it set the room ablaze with renewed fervor.
300.
The enthusiasm in the room was palpable, rivaling even that of the auctioneer. Faces lit up with excitement and hands shot up around the room, each participant eager to outbid the last. The auctioneer's gavel hovered in midair, waiting to descend and seal the fate of the artifact. Finally, the gavel came down with a resounding thud. Ultimately, a mysterious man in the corner secured the item for 350 crystals. A steal for such a treasure. A murmur of admiration and envy rippled through the crowd. Who was this man? What did he know that they didn't?
Don't be discouraged if you haven't won any bids. The next item is another second-grade genuine energy artifact, and it's among the best. Introducing the purplish gold bow.
There was an audible gasp as the auctioneer unveiled the next item. Zayn Martel's head snapped up, his eyes gleaming at the sight of the bow. Held in an ornate box, it shimmered with a purple-golden glow, its beauty and power evident even from a distance. The light seemed to play off the bow's surface, creating an almost magical aura around it. Whispers erupted in the crowd, a mix of admiration and desire. This was not just any weapon, it was a masterpiece.
The starting price is 300 crystals.
The auctioneer's voice was electric, matching the crowd's heightened anticipation. Bids came in, but the excitement waned. Bows weren't as popular as other weapons, yet there was something undeniably captivating about this one. Perhaps it was the craftsmanship, or the way it seemed to glow with an inner light. But this bow was exactly what Zayn needed. He raised his hand, his heart pounding with a mixture of hope and determination.
330 crystals.
All eyes turned to Zayn. The room seemed to hold its breath. A disciple with an indiscernible appearance countered, his voice cutting through the silence like a knife.
340?
Zayn's spiritual eyes revealed a young man with a bald head and a greasy face, a personal disciple of the White Wolf Academy. The man sneered at Zayn, his expression a mixture of arrogance and disdain.
Listen, brother, I'm Liu from White Wolf Academy. I fancy this treasure. Will you yield it to me?
The auction room fell silent once more, whispers spreading like wildfire.
Isn't the item for the highest bidder? Why is Liu violating the rules?
Are you not afraid of revenge?
The tension in the room was thick enough to cut with a knife. All eyes were on Zayn, waiting to see how he would respond to Liu's blatant challenge. However, Zayn remained unfazed, raising his hand again.
350 crystals.
A hush fell over the room as Zayn's bid echoed. Liu's face twisted with anger, his eyes narrowing into dangerous slits. He pointed at the host, his voice dripping with menace.
Call off the bidding. I want this purplish gold bow. Do you dare refuse me?
The host, caught in a dilemma, hesitated. Offending Liu could ruin his future, but condoning his behavior would undermine the auction's integrity. Beads of sweat formed on the host's forehead as he glanced nervously between Liu and the rest of the bidders. Zayn's voice cut through the tension like a blade.
Lunatic Liu. The auction house isn't a place where fists speak. If you haven't the money, don't bid. Or borrow from me if I'm in a good mood.
The room buzzed with murmurs of approval and astonishment. Zayn's boldness was unexpected, and for a moment, even Liu seemed taken aback. But Liu's fury was barely contained, his hands clenching into fists at his sides.
Fine, then let's see who has more crystals. 400 crystals.
Liu's aggressive bid drew gasps from the audience. He was clearly trying to intimidate Zayn with his wealth. But Zayn was unmoved, his face a mask of calm determination.
450.
The tension in the room ratcheted up another notch. Liu's face reddened, his composure slipping as his frustration grew.
500.
Zayn's calm demeanor infuriated Liu. The room felt like a pressure cooker ready to explode.
600.
Liu's eyes widened in shock at his own bid. The number hung in the air, a testament to his desperation and rage. He could only threaten Zayn, his voice low and menacing.
Fine, but don't blame me if you die bidding and miss out on enjoying them.
The crowd held its breath, waiting for Zayn's reaction. But Zayn remained calm and collected, not rising to Liu's bait. Liu sat down, conceding the bid with a frustrated huff. The host announced the winner with a mixture of relief and excitement.
The purplish gold bow now belongs to this gentleman at 600 crystals.
A wave of murmurs and whispers spread through the crowd. Eric Helm, standing nearby, admired Zayn's courage and calm under pressure.
Zayn, do you have enough crystals?
Need you ask?
Zayn had prepared well for this auction, exchanging thousands of first-grade elixirs for over 1,000 crystals. He knew the value of being prepared. As more items were auctioned, Liu secured one of them, glaring at Zayn whenever their eyes met. The tension between them was palpable, a silent promise of future conflicts. Then the final item of the auction was announced, drawing everyone's attention back to the stage.
The next item is the 5-colored deer marrow, 2 pounds in weight. Starting price is 100 crystals.
Zayn immediately doubled the bid, his voice ringing with determination.
200.
The crowd reacted with a mix of surprise and admiration at Zayn's bold move. But Liu, still targeting Zayn with his intense gaze, raised the stakes once more.
300.
Zayn's face darkened, his jaw setting with resolve. He knew he couldn't afford to back down now, not when he was so close to securing what he needed.
500.
The auction house was silent, everyone waiting to see if Liu would continue the bidding war or concede defeat. The tension was at its peak, each second feeling like an eternity. Fortunately, Liu didn't bid again, and Zayn won. But he knew this grudge wouldn't fade. As the auction concluded, the host's final announcement stopped Zayn and Eric in their tracks.
Next is the most anticipated moment, the last item of this auction, a 3rd-grade genuine energy artifact, the Universe Seal.
The air thickened with suspense. What could be more valuable than the treasures already won? The answer was just within reach, and the tension was electric. The crowd buzzed with excitement, their energy almost tangible in the air. Zayn Martel, usually unflappable, hesitated for a moment, then decided to stay seated for the final round. This wasn't just any artifact up for auction. It was a higher-ranked genuine energy artifact, a 3rd-grade one at that. In the hands of an 8th-stage foundation-level practitioner, this artifact could withstand attacks from an early-stage intermediate-level practitioner. Its power was unrivaled. As Zayn considered the implications of possessing such a powerful artifact, his mind raced with strategic possibilities. The significance of the artifact was not lost on him or the other attendees. This was an opportunity not just to acquire a formidable weapon, but to potentially shift the balance of power within their circles. The atmosphere in the auction house was electric. Whispers spread like wildfire as attendees speculated on the true value and origins of the artifact. The room was packed with influential figures, each one eyeing the box with a mixture of greed and reverence. The stakes had never been higher, and Zayn knew that every bid was a calculated move in the larger game of power and influence. A maid emerged, holding a dark, mysterious box. As she opened it, a dazzling green light flooded the auction house. A beam of fluorescent light hovered in the air, followed by a sudden hurricane. The oppressive and fierce light made everyone present tremble inwardly. Inside the pitch-black box lay a palm-sized gray seal, shaped like a slender earthworm curled up, resembling a round pancake. Yet the aura it emitted was the strongest Zayn Martel had ever felt. Stronger even than the dragon blood sword in his hand. The boundless pressure from it devoured all the vital energy in the surrounding air. The intensity of the artifact's power made Zayn's heart race. He could feel the energy pulsating from the seal, creating an almost magnetic pull that made it hard to look away. It was as if the artifact was alive, demanding attention and respect from everyone in the room. The crowd, including Zayn Martel, fell silent, their hearts pounding wildly. The host, satisfied with the reaction, spoke up.
Everyone, even if you haven't seen it with your own eyes, you've heard of the power of this 3rd-grade genuine energy artifact. No need for introductions. But remember, we paid a great price to get this treasure, so the price won't be cheap. The starting bid is 500 crystals.
The declaration from the host snapped the audience out of their awe-induced stupor, igniting a fervor of competitive bidding. Hands shot up across the room, each bidder eager to stake their claim on the coveted artifact. The atmosphere became charged with anticipation, the tension so thick it was almost palpable.
600 crystals.
I'll pay 700. 800.
As the numbers climbed, Zayn watched with a keen eye, his mind calculating the odds and potential strategies. The price soared higher and higher, but Zayn knew this was just the beginning. The real players hadn't made their moves yet, and he was prepared for the fierce competition that lay ahead.
1,000.
Lunatic Liu, eyes shining brightly, joined the fray. Zayn Martel smirked and raised his hand.
1,300.
This bid caught everyone's attention. Eric Helm, anxious, grabbed Zayn.
Zayn, didn't you say you've used up all your crystals? Do you still have money?
Nope. Just adding some fun. No matter how much I raise the price, someone will outbid me.
Eric's eyes widened with a mixture of disbelief and concern. He knew Zayn loved to stir the pot, but this was an auction filled with powerful artifacts and even more powerful bidders. Zayn's nonchalance was both baffling and slightly worrying, but before Eric could say more, Lunatic Liu's voice cut through the air.
1,500.
The bid rang out like a challenge, and Zayn Martel, unfazed, leaned back in his chair, a smirk playing on his lips.
1,700.
The room grew tense as all eyes darted between Zayn and Lunatic Liu. The animosity between the two was palpable, and it was clear to everyone present that this bidding war was about more than just the artifact.
Must you keep coming at me?
God, no, I ain't got the balls. Just think it'd look good on my decoration shelf.
The crowd gasped. Zayn's flippant response was a direct slap in the face to Lunatic Liu, who was known for his fierce pride and quick temper. The tension in the room escalated, and the bad blood between Zayn Martel and Lunatic Liu was now on full display.
2,000.
2,001.
The audience watched in rapt attention as the bids continued to climb. Each bid was met with gasps and murmurs of astonishment. Zayn's cool demeanor contrasted sharply with Lunatic Liu's growing frustration.
3,000.
3,001.
Lunatic Liu was beside himself with anger. His face flushed red, and his hands trembled as he clenched his fists. He was not used to being outdone, especially not by someone as seemingly indifferent as Zayn.
4,000. Well, you want to keep going?
Wow, you're generous. Actually, I was just shouting for fun. Didn't expect you to take it seriously. Since you like it so much, I'll let you have it.
Lunatic Liu, enraged, stormed off. His anger was so intense that it seemed to vibrate through the air, leaving a palpable tension in his wake.
Me and you, we're enemies now. Consider yourself warned. I'll make sure you get a taste of the universe seal.
Zayn Martel sneered, his expression one of supreme confidence and disdain.
Don't worry. It's just Lunatic Liu. He's a nobody to me. Besides, he's from White Wolf Academy. A duel with him is inevitable.
The crowd buzzed with whispers as Zayn and Eric made their way out. The auction had ended, but the real drama was just beginning. They paid for their purchases and left. Eric Helm returned home, while Zayn Martel wandered, eventually returning to All-Embracing Hall to craft arrows for the purplish gold bow. Timon from the Hall of Weaponry was in charge of crafting the arrows using golden pattern metal. Zayn Martel, satisfied with Timon's work, returned to his residence ready to face the upcoming duel. Days flew by, and the day of the duel with Lane's personal disciple, Nico, arrived. Over 100 people gathered in the martial contest hall, eager to witness the duel. Most wanted to see the genius, Zayn Martel. After all, the rumors about Zayn Martel's sudden change from a nominal disciple to a personal disciple had never died down. The audience buzzed with excitement, exchanging stories and speculations about his rapid rise. Below the ring, the tall and lanky Nico had a cold, cocky look on his face. The corner of his mouth twisted into a cold smile as he quietly stared at the entrance of the martial contest hall, anticipating Zayn's arrival. Beside Nico stood a handsome man with a paper fan in his hand, exuding an air of nonchalance and elegance. His presence added an extra layer of tension to the already charged atmosphere. The audience's excitement and curiosity were at their peak as they waited for the duel to begin. Whispers of anticipation filled the air, and all eyes were fixed on the entrance, eager to see how the showdown would unfold. The stage was set, and the duel was about to begin. What strategies would Zayn Martel employ? Could he outmatch Nico's strength and cunning? The answers lay just ahead, shrouded in the tension of the imminent battle.
Look at Hugh, the man is a walking legend.
I can't believe I'm seeing him in person. He's more beautiful than any girl I know.
If only I had even a fraction of his charm.
He is the personal disciple of Dean Harrison. You think you stand a chance against him even if you had his charm?
If I didn't know Hugh was a man, I would fall in love at first sight.
Everyone in the martial contest hall was staring at Hugh, the first disciple of the Azure Dragon Academy. As he walked into the hall, he was surrounded by admirers, both men and women. Hugh knew that they would do anything to gain his attention.
Hugh, can I be your friend?
Look at yourself in the mirror. Hugh is mine, and I will marry no one but him.
Do you think you people are even worthy?
What's wrong with us? We're handsome too.
Hugh and I are childhood sweethearts. All of you can forget about him.
As if I even know her.
Hugh had long gotten used to people drooling all over him wherever he went. He ignored the crowd and turned to Nico, who stood beside him.
Nico, are you confident you can defeat Zayn? I heard you dragged me in your stupid bet. You know what will happen if you lose, right?
Nico was well aware that Hugh was at the 8th stage of the foundation level. Along with his high status, Hugh could literally destroy him in seconds.
Hugh, don't sweat it. Zayn has just reached the 3rd stage. He hasn't even mastered it, and I've reached the 4th stage. I am sure I can defeat him.
Nico kept his face neutral as he looked at Hugh for an answer. Hugh nodded coldly and looked around. He saw Zayn the moment he walked in hand with Allura. They looked like a happy couple. It angered the possessive Hugh even more. He rushed towards Zayn.
Who do you think you are? Get your hands off her. How dare you even come in her presence?
Hugh, behave yourself. Zayn and I love each other. And how many times do I need to tell you that I don't like you? We are just friends. And that's all we'll ever be. Nothing more than that.
Allura, this guy from a...
Look at Hugh, the man is a walking legend.
I can't believe I'm seeing him in person. He's more beautiful than any girl I know.
If only I had even a fraction of his charm.
He is the personal disciple of Dean Harrison. You think you stand a chance against him even if you had his charm?
If I didn't know Hugh was a man, I would fall in love at first sight.
Everyone in the martial contest hall was staring at Hugh, the first disciple of the Azure Dragon Academy. As he walked into the hall, he was surrounded by admirers, both men and women. Hugh knew that they would do anything to gain his attention.
Hugh, can I be your friend?
Look at yourself in the mirror. Hugh is mine, and I will marry no one but him.
Do you think you people are even worthy?
What's wrong with us? We're handsome too.
Hugh and I are childhood sweethearts. All of you can forget about him.
As if I even know her.
Hugh had long gotten used to people drooling all over him wherever he went. He ignored the crowd and turned to Nico, who stood beside him.
Nico, are you confident you can defeat Zayn? I heard you dragged me in your stupid bet. You know what will happen if you lose, right?
Nico was well aware that Hugh was at the 8th stage of the foundation level. Along with his high status, Hugh could literally destroy him in seconds.
Hugh, don't sweat it. Zayn has just reached the 3rd stage. He hasn't even mastered it, and I've reached the 4th stage. I am sure I can defeat him.
Nico kept his face neutral as he looked at Hugh for an answer. Hugh nodded coldly and looked around. He saw Zayn the moment he walked in hand with Allura. They looked like a happy couple. It angered the possessive Hugh even more. He rushed towards Zayn.
Who do you think you are? Get your hands off her. How dare you even come in her presence?
Hugh, behave yourself. Zayn and I love each other. And how many times do I need to tell you that I don't like you? We are just friends. And that's all we'll ever be. Nothing more than that.
Allura, this guy from a small town isn't worthy of a beauty like you. I am the only one worthy of you in the entire academy. Why don't you understand that?
In his desperation, Hugh had started moving close towards Allura. Zayn could see that Allura was uncomfortable. He stepped aside and blocked Hugh from reaching Allura.
Back off, Hugh. She clearly said she wants nothing to do with you. If you harass her again, I won't be so forgiving.
The hall's atmosphere was tense. Everyone waited for Hugh's response with a bated breath. Hugh rolled his eyes and suddenly attacked Zayn. His palm sliced through the air, causing layers of air to blast towards Zayn. Zayn had already seen this coming. He advanced towards Hugh and attacked head-on, causing an explosion as well as a violent hurricane. Both of them retreated one after another.
This should be fun. At least the first disciple of the Azure Dragon Academy lives up to his reputation.
How is this wannabe held out against an 8th stage foundation level attack?
Hugh frowned slightly. The way he looked at Zayn changed.
I heard that you were accepted as a personal disciple by Dean Harrison. If you were just a nominal disciple, I would still show mercy. But now that you're a personal disciple, you'll have to play by the rules.
Zayn just scoffed at Hugh's taunts. He had heard much worse in his life. Hugh, on the other hand, was getting angrier by the minute.
I asked you to go easy on him, Nico. But since he is so capable, why don't you give it your all, huh? If you can kill him, I will owe you one.
Hugh turned around and mumbled something to Nico, who immediately turned aggressive. The audience erupted in cheers. The two of them walked onto the ring. Everyone in the academy knew that Hugh had only ever loved Allura. However, Allura loved Zayn. This fight was not just about the grudge between Nico and Zayn. It was a fight between Hugh and Zayn for Allura. Zayn knew that if he couldn't defeat Nico, everyone at the academy would think of him as unworthy of Allura. After all, the weak couldn't protect anything.
Zayn, I heard you've broken through to the 3rd stage, but I've reached the 4th. I didn't intend to use my full strength, but since Hugh wants it, I will be ruthless. If I hit too hard, you can immediately get out of the ring and surrender.
Nico's expressions immediately changed as his hands glowed with black and white fierce light as he roared and attacked. As he rushed forward, 2 shadows of a dragon and a snake attacked Zayn. The crowd stepped back as they screamed in horror at the view in front of them. The aura in the hall was already stifling, but Zayn was unaffected. A white light rose from his body and covered him in a muffled thunder. People could see the thunder moving across his body as if it was just air. Zayn summoned the power of 9 bulls and a tiger. Waves of air surged and swept forward with a roar. Nico's black and white fierce light was shattered to the ground by Zayn's white thunder. Nico's palm deformed from the force, and he was sent flying, crashing to the ground with a bang. The floor instantly exploded. Zayn had defeated Nico with just 1 move.
What's going on? One move?
Either Zayn's strength has grown so terrifying or our eyes have tricked us.
I had heard that he could defeat an opponent with 1 move, but Nico was trained by Lane.
I guess that means there will be another fight between Hugh and Zayn.
As the crowd chattered, Nico lay on the ground. He was bewildered that he hadn't gotten any time to react. Before he could even think of anything else, he felt a sharp pain in his arm before blood gushed out of his chest.
How could he break my bones into dust? What's wrong with me?